there, everyone. It's Jen, the board game librarian, and as always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Matt, the dice chucker. And together we are the literary gamers, bringing you our C ratings, rating our collection with all of our C games.
Before we continue, I want to make just a brief announcement. I've gotten a chance to watch a few of these now, and if it ever sounds like there's running water in the background, we live in a condo, and we are on an end unit, which means all the pipes attached to the whole unit are in our place. So if anyone ever wants to flush the toilet or take a shower, you'll know.
Why is it always about toilets with you, Matt? Okay, I don't know what I thought you were going to say as your announcement, but that was maybe not it.
No, I've watched a few of these videos and you hear the shh in the background, so that's what it is.
Sorry, folks, I'm not that advanced in terms of my editing abilities, so I don't know how to get rid of it. So, thanks.
All right. So, we're going to be rating our collection for the C's, and we have 39 games in our collection that start with C. Now, like last time, I think we're going to give you a runoff up to number 15, and then we'll talk about 15 and up from there on our opinions.
Because that's a lot for me to edit.
It is.
Again, I'm not that sophisticated, folks.
Yeah. Ready to go?
I'm so ready, aren't you?
All right, here we go. Number 39 was Cosmic Encounter Duel at a 7.08. 38 was Cupcake Empire at 7.58. 37, Century, Golem Edition Eastern Mountains, 7.58. 36, Colt Express, 7.58. Number 35, Cover Your Kingdom, 7.625. 34 was Cusco at 7.625. 33, Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done at 7.625. 32 was Campy Creatures at 7.625. Number 31 was Commissioned at 7.625. Number 30 was Camel Up or Camel Cup. I don't want to get into an argument. Whatever you want to do, that's fine with you. Number 29, Carcassonne at 7.705. 28, Council of Blackthorn at 7.75. 27, Commands and Colors Ancients at 7.75. 26, Catch the Moon at 7.75. 25 is Cairn at 7.83. 24, Cosmic Encounter at 7.875. Number 23, Call to Adventure, the Stormlight Archive at 7.875. Number 22, Coralia at 7.875. Number 21, Cockroach Poker at 7.875. Number 20, Cat Lady at 7.875. Number 19, Cat Cafe at 7.875. Number 18, Clank in Space at 8. Number 17, Coimbra at 8. And 16, Charmed and Dangerous at 8. Once again, these are our opinions, and if they're in the collection, that means we enjoy them. So just because they're low in the collection doesn't mean we don't like them.
We are getting rid of Cosmic Encounter Duel, however. I think
true.
Reading this, we were like...
a lot of the energy and fun of Cosmic Encounter is kind of gone.
Yes.
In Duel.
Agreed. So, if we didn't lull you to sleep with that countdown there, take a break, folks. We're here. Number 15 is a game that I was pretty resistive to. Last year, Matt had played it at our local game store and loved it. And then I ended up with this as a Christmas gift. And I'll show the pictures here, and everyone oohs and ahs over it. But it's Crokinole. Maybe one of the oldest games on our entire list. Mm-hmm. When we come to Go, that will likely show up.
Yeah, I think that's the oldest one, actually.
And there might be others, like Scopa. I'm sure that'll end up showing up on here as well. 8.125. So you'll notice with all of our C's that they are all really high, except for Cosmic Encounter. Everything else was Cosmic Encounter Duel. Everything else is really high. So we determined that RCs, we like a lot of RC games. Crokinole, really bad at it. Matt takes pity on me and lets me take multiple shots sometimes because it's just so far off. That's about all I have to say.
This was my favorite new to me game last year. I think for you it was Quacks of Quedlinburg. But
yeah,
I enjoyed it. We've shown it to a few people. So yeah. If you haven't gotten a chance to play it, try to find a group in your area to at least give it a shot, because it's well worth your time.
Yeah, we've gotten Matt's mom to play this game, and your sister?
Yes.
And our brother-in-law, too, last year at Christmas, so it was deemed the Christmas game. So we're going to bring it again next year. We're going to lug this bad boy in the car.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. But
it's lighter than Gloomhaven.
That could be. That might be a really interesting challenge, quite frankly. Yes, and there's Crokinole boards of so many different varieties out there. Mayday often has a great Kickstarter that they run for Crokinole boards, and then there are those really fancy schmancy ones that are like the Tree of Gondor at $400.
Yeah. If you're ever interested and you've played Crokinole and you think you're really good at it, put elastic bands around the pegs, every other peg, and see how well you do. There's a variant out there for it, and you're either going to sink a lot of 20-pointers because you'll flick the disc, it'll hit an elastic band and bounce into the 20-point area, or you're just going to get a lot of nothing. Oh, number 14, Champions of Midgard. Got an 8.125. You like Champions more than I do, so why don't you give everybody your thoughts?
Do I like Champions of Midgard more than you do? That is news to me.
It's a possible sequel that made you like it more than I do.
Oh, Reavers?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Reavers better.
I really like Reavers a lot.
Champions at this point, we're all in on all the expansions and the game mat, so I think, well, I'm not sure that we would sell it.
It's a good game. I'll play it if you put it in front of me, and every time I put it in front of me, I'm like, I really do enjoy this game.
Agree. It's a beast to set up now at this point, with all of the expansions and the doodads. A worker placement game. Some people have said that it's like the next step up from Lords of Waterdeep, if that's one that you enjoy playing. But you are looking to go on raids, you are looking to fight the troll, you are looking to fight other monsters, you are looking to go across the sea and gain ultimate glory.
Yeah. Some people have said that even though they're not huge fans of dice, they enjoyed the dice addition to Champions, unlike the Lords of Waterdeep, where you don't have dice, you're just kind of just going out and getting resources. Though the expansion for Lords of Waterdeep really does a great service to the game.
True.
So yeah, not much more to say. Champions of Midgard. I really enjoy the Valhalla expansion. I would tell you to get that one in a heartbeat. Dark Mountains is okay. The only problem is some stuff in Valhalla needs Dark Mountains, so it's almost kind of like you need both of them to get the full experience. You can work your way around it, but you really need both to get the full game. And I don't think there's going to be any more expansions.
I hope not.
I got no more room in the box, everybody. Gray Fox, I got no room in the box.
Number 13 is one of our newer additions to our lists, and that is Calico by Flat Out Games. Almost said Flat Earth. Ooh. And EEG, a Kevin Russ design. I feel like I didn't know a super lot about this when I backed it last year on Kickstarter. I saw quilts and I saw cats, especially a ginger cat. Not the ginger cat, but just as good on the cover, and I think I was sold. It said tiling, quilts, collect cats.
Yeah,
that's it. Some Beth Sobel art, of course, which is always fantastic.
And when we put the game on the shelf, you see the face of our little ginger boy.
Yeah,
it's not our ginger boy, but it looks very close.
Calico, it was deceiving, I think. I think we thought it was going to be this really easy breezy, really kind of family weight.
It is.
It is.
But
it's crunchy. I mean, not the cats. The cats are not crunchy.
Easy to learn, difficult to master.
Yes. I think if you're trying to get all 3 of your objectives, I don't know a single person who's done that. I think you're able to collect 2 of the objectives, focus on that, and then focus on collecting as many cats as possible.
And if you want to look at all the objectives, focus on pattern type or color. Don't try to get both. Both is great to shoot for, but it's hard. And I think I spent one game trying to get at least one where it was both. And I still lost because everything else I was gathering was meaningless because I was so focused on getting that. If you happen to come upon it where you can get both, great, but it's rough. And then there's some times where you're not going to get anything. Everything you're looking for your objectives, nothing's coming out for you. Well, at that point, just focus on the buttons and the cats, because that'll work out more for you than trying to get objectives when you're just struggling to even try to figure out how you're going to do it.
He thinks I can pet him down there. I'm not petting him down there. He's got to come up like a good boy. Yeah, I'd agree. I think out of the 3 times that we've played this, I maybe got in one game where I got 2 objectives that were both color and pattern, but it was a super random and lucky draw pull from the bag.
Yeah, but a great game. And it's easily accessible for a lot of people. I'm sure I could teach this to parents.
Yeah.
And really, just if you're not prone to analysis paralysis, you can get a game done in a half hour, and then it's so easy with the bag they give you, which they say isn't necessary, but they give it to you anyway. Just shove all the tiles back in and just start over. I mean, it's really redo the cats, because there's so many different cat variations you can have in this game.
Yeah, it's quite delightful. I keep saying that there need to be more cute games out there, and pretty games.
It's a Zen game, too.
Yeah, it's very Zen.
Some people don't play it like a Zen game, but for me, it was.
No, I do kind of hate draft sometimes.
I know you do.
The tiles from you.
It's okay.
Love you.
All right, so... So, number 12, as Jen said before, a lot of our C games ended up being 8s. Like, the lowest C game was number 18 out of 39. So, we've got a lot of games that we consider really great in this letter. Cartographers was one of my favorite games from last year, and to call it number 12, it's not doing it a disservice, because it really is a phenomenal game.
But no, we love it. We do love it.
We have the game mat, we have the extra cards, we even bring out the colored pencils when we're playing Cartographers.
Gotta do the colored pencils.
Yeah.
Yes.
It allows so much replayability, this game. It's in the role-player universe. You draft cards, they tell you what kind of patterns you can draw. Now you can choose to draw... On some of them where they have 2 options, one of them will always have a coin next to it. Not always, most of the time we'll have a coin next to it. You're going to cover less land, but you're going to get a coin, or you can just go for the larger formation. And then you have these scoring objectives, and I love these scoring objectives because in the first round you do scoring A and B, and then the second round is B and C, and the third round is C and D, and then D and A. So even if you didn't get a lot of points in A the first round, it's going to come back around. So each objective scores twice. I think that's fantastic. So, yeah, I'm going to shut up about it so you can talk about it.
I've said almost everything that I would say. It's maybe one of our favorites. Well, it's a flippin', right? Mm-hmm. And I like it equally as I do Welcome to. Mm-hmm.
Both sides are great of the pad. You have a side that doesn't have a chasm in the middle of it, and one that does. Both sides offer, I think, the same challenge. The chasm is just a little more challenging because you have less room, but sometimes that actually might work in your favor depending on when the creatures come out.
Yeah, we've played this a lot.
A lot in a year.
In a year, and we, 2 days ago, I late pledged.
You late pledged Heroes?
Kickstarter
Okay.
for it. So we'll be looking forward to having more Cartographers content. I hope it fits in the box, though.
Because Thunderworks has always, delivered well on their
They
Kickstarters.
have.
They really have.
Yes. Well, number 11 is Castles of Burgundy. So we, at an 8.125, we found a lot at 8.125, and someday Matt will explain how he rates the others.
Maybe when it's all done, I'll tell you how
Yeah,
we do
on a
it.
less busy day than today. Castles of Burgundy, we had been taught and really liked it.
We got it half off at one of those Go calendar stores
Years
a while
ago.
ago, and this was before we played Euro games. So I'm reading the rule book, thinking, why do I care what kind of sheep I have on here? What's the point of this? Do I fight any monsters? Because we were playing games like Zombicide and Mage Knight and War of the Ring, and I'm like, I don't need wood. Why do I need that? Workers, what do workers do for me? And the whole concept was lost on me at first, so I put it aside, knowing we would play it sometime in the future. And a friend taught it to us. We've loved it ever since.
We don't play this more because of setup. And we have everything in separate baggies. Setup is just, I think, for 2 players, just such a bear. I think it's worth setting it up for 2 players than it is 4. But I mean, maybe one of our favorite Felds. We still really love it. Yep. I think it's a classic. It's probably never going to leave our collection.
Another well-loved box.
Yeah, another well-loved box. We've played it a lot over the years. And just solid. It's themeless, but that's okay. I mean, I kind of expect that with Feld games. So.
Number 10. So we were at Gen Con in 2016?
I think so.
2016. And we heard about this game called Covert from Renegade Game Studios. And we went over and had a chance to play the game. Not realizing and understanding the hype the booth had for the other game that was there that year. And I had paid no attention to it. They gave us a promo for it. We bought Covert. We enjoyed it. It left the collection because we saw everything it had to offer, I think. But when I started hearing about Clank and the fact that we missed it at Gen Con, I was upset with myself. And so eventually got a chance to play it. And you were with me when you played that the first time, right? You won.
Kicked everyone's butt. So yes.
Clank is number 10.
Yes.
At an 8.25.
We like a good deck builder in this house. I call it shopping. It's like going shopping. It's great. I have money. I can buy this many cards. I can maximize my profits. And maybe have coupons and discounts sometimes.
And then you added a board to it.
Yes.
And that...
Yep. Still love it. We have a couple of expansions for it.
We have The Mummy, and we have Underwater.
Yes.
And we have... Okay, we haven't gotten through all of Legacy, which is why it's not on this list. But we do have it.
We do. Maybe, I think this winter we're probably going to try to...
Hunker down
and get through it. Campaign games and us have a really bad reputation and history. We're really bad at them. So yes, Clank is great. I love how punny it is. That and Clank in Space. I think Clank has a easier entry point to it.
Yes.
Than Clank in Space.
Clank in Space is still good, and I enjoy it. But I've taught Clank to so many people, and it's never gone poorly. That's one of the reasons I love it so much. For me to be able to do that with a game, to show it to people that many times, and still have it fresh for me, is great.
Yeah, there's always cards you don't see, different things you might do. You might try to push your luck. I try to play it safe. Clank in my library is almost never on the shelf, which is great. That's a huge testament, I think, to its popularity and notoriety, too, that people come in looking for it. So, Clank!
Renegade, I'm still waiting for Cthulhu Clank.
Cthulhu Whiskers? Mr. Whiskers Clank?
Yeah, Cthulhu Clank. Hint, hint. All right, number 9 for you.
Oh, it's me! Castles of Mad King Ludwig at 8.25. This is one of Matt's all-time favorite games, so why don't you talk about it?
I didn't get a chance to play it when it first came out. The idea of tiles that you put down and were never really next to each other, and if you possibly breathed too hard on it, it would move apart, irked me. So I ran away from this game for the longest time. Then you brought it home from the library, and you said it was one of your more popular games. So we gave it a shot.
Is.
It's just the mechanic of... One of the things that I really love about Castles of Mad King Ludwig is one of the things people don't like, which is the auction mechanic. I think it really is very good. And I love the combos you can just get off rooms, and seeing what you can pull off. And sometimes, like the last time we played this, you got a really bad game. Just the stuff didn't come out the way you wanted it to, or someone jacked the prices up too much every time it was your turn to pick first.
Like the only time that I won against you, though.
And all I could do on my turn was take some money.
Yeah. Kicked your butt then, too.
You did.
But every other time, you kick my butt. Yeah, this game is, like, Matt... A dream game for Matt. It's puzzly. It's got combos.
We played with friends of ours once, and I lapped all of them.
Yeah, you did. Sorry, Mike and Emily. Yeah, I don't like it as much. For me, the fiddliness of, like, if the cats get on the table and they knock into one of the pieces and it's all cattywampus, that bothers me. I'm fine with the auction mechanic too. I am not bothered by it. I think it's great at 2 players.
It's really nice at 2 players.
Yep, although I feel like we never see quite as many rooms as we would like to, which is the nice thing about playing with more. But very solid, and yes, it is very popular at the library. I don't think it's on the shelf right now. So, great game.
Number 8. I used to be a Magic player. Way back in the day. And eventually it got to the point where the style that we were playing Magic was just kind of not for me anymore, and I stopped playing Magic completely, and I got out of gaming. And then I found out my FLGS was buying Magic cards, and so I brought it all there. They gave me a decent amount for it, and one of the first designer games we really started going down this rabbit hole was Cyclades.
Or Cyclades, or... Yes.
I think it was one of the first times when, after we finished, we set it up again and played. Excuse me. Just a really neat game of bidding for god powers, trying to invade other islands, letting somebody else do all the work while you invade the metropolis once their guard is down. And
area control.
A lot of good stuff.
This is my favorite out of the 3.
The mythological series.
Series. Inish, and Cyclades. It's got lots of things going for it. It's got Greek gods and goddesses. Yes. It's got cool artwork. Yes. I can play as the Amazons. Yes. And it's Bruno. So, yes, this continues to be one of my all-time favorites. We do have several expansions for it, one of which we have never played because it needs
3 people.
The Titans expansion needs 3. So, we have never done the mashup with Kemet and Cyclades before.
We've done the mashup with Cyclades and Kemet. I put the tiles out one time.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Oh. I must have been asleep that day. I don't remember.
It was fine. The mashup was fine. It was fun, but...
I almost pay no attention to the monsters in either game.
I pay more attention to them in Kemet because they stay out longer.
Yes.
But in Cyclades, it's almost like you spent all this money to get your miniature and gone. Some of the stuff in the Hades expansion fixes that.
Yeah, that is definitely my least favorite part of Cyclades, is, again, like you just said, you get this cool mini and it's there for winter.
And I love that on the Kraken miniature, there's actually a ship sailing into its mouth. It's just a little detail they didn't need to add, but they did.
Yeah. The quality of the minis is fine. It's nothing to write home about. But a great game.
Yeah.
It's me.
That's you.
It's me. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. So number 7.
Number 7 is Century Golem Edition. The first one. Not the Spice Road, but the Golem. The Golems. 8.25. We've played this game maybe 30 times. Maybe
we
more.
played the snot out of it after we got home from Gen Con that year.
I just kept playing. We don't play it as much anymore. Just not sure why. But just, oh goodness, such a great game in terms of hand management and resource management and your timing, and it's a race. It's really a racing game too.
And it's got engine building in it too, really.
Yep, all of which are I'm really terrible at them. Engine building.
And I am that guy that while I will try to get the big pointers, I will go for the small ones just to end the game.
Yeah, that's a fair strategy. Our version has the
playmat.
The blinged up playmat, the blinged up coins. Although do the coins?
No, they all have that.
They all have the coins. We have the playmat. I like me some nice playmats.
We played it so much, I had to sleeve it because edges were starting to fray.
Yeah, a game where you are using cards to purchase other cards or to purchase resources and then kind of collect them up a la Splendor. We've played Splendor a couple of times, I think, and I would play this every time it was offered to me over Splendor. So I think a great gateway game, family weight game.
Yeah. Nothing more needs to be said.
Okay.
Really?
All right. 8.25.
Number 6. This was a genre Jen didn't realize she would enjoy. Mainly because most of the games in this genre are 3 players plus. But we came across a copy of Chicago Express at a game store.
Labor Day weekend,
and you fell in love with it. So Chicago Express is our number 6 at 8.375. So you love it more than I do.
I do?
Take it away.
I thought you liked it just as much as I do.
No, because then it wouldn't have the weird decimals. I'm sorry, I don't go. What do you give this? A 7.68? What?
Oh, I was doing that sometimes just to...
Yeah, I know you were.
Chicago Express is easy. The concept is easy. You could probably teach it to anyone, really, because you can only do 3 actions. But the strategy in it is immense. And, the bidding aspect of it, how you're building out your tracks, how you're using your stocks, if you're building the little houses to boost up your stocks. Very good. Last time we played this was a couple of weeks ago when the election was called with our friends Mike and Emily, who are huge train game fans. And both Emily and I passed on green stock and or did not build green train lines and basically won at the game.
I rushed to Chicago and stopped in every city on the way.
Yep. And
I had 3 out of the 5 green stocks, and that had the highest monetary value.
Yep. You and I won this equally, though.
But you are definitely a fan of train games.
Yeah, didn't know that. An 18XX game to me is too long. I feel like it's too long for what it is.
Age of Steam.
Don't kill me.
Age of Steam is a nice midway, but once again, a lot of that is 3 players plus.
Right.
So we enjoy steamrollers.
That'll show up.
It'll show up, yeah. But Chicago Express really seems to fit that niche for us.
It does. We like it fine at 2 players. Paper money in it is garbage. It's utter garbage. I can totally see why people who are train game aficionados have their poker chips, because Holy moly, that is hot crap.
You also can't really see how much the company has to build the trains when it's the paper money.
Maybe that's a reason why. I don't know. Don't give me those eyes. You can come up here and be in the video. So, great. I love Chicago Express.
Yep. It's number 5. It's number 5.
Number 5.
That's your favorite Feld.
No, maybe. I don't know. Number 5 might make some people mad because we like this better than its bigger
originator.
version. Its bigger version, and that's Castles of Burgundy Dice
Setup's easier.
at 8.5. Yeah, so I think that's literally the whole reason that setup is easier.
We can bring this with us anywhere.
Yeah, and we have. We were just in Cape Cod, and we played it, I think, 4 times at a winery. We're just like, all right, roll the dice. Here we go. Roll the dice. Here we go. So it's the same concept as Castles of Burgundy, where you were looking to fill in your hexagonal pieces in your grid and get the most points. That's
it.
That's about it, folks.
But it's good.
It is very good.
It's good.
One of our favorite roll and write games. I've heard people I feel like this game is either really hot or cold for people. I've seen online they either love it or they hate it. Cool. Oh, that's fine. I mean, you do you, booze. What would you like to say about Castles of Burgundy Dice?
Not much more to say about Castles of Burgundy Dice.
Just like it. It's fun.
I will say, every once in a while, I feel like I have the perfect game of it. And then I add my score up. And even though I had a good game, someone had a better one.
I think I've won this game twice.
No. Let's find out. No, I won't do that.
Okay. Alright, I was going to say we'll be here a lot longer than we probably intend to be. So, cool.
I get to talk about number 4.
Cool, yes.
Number 4. I've yet to play a game from this company that I've disliked. And that's because I think when they do a game, they put their all into it. Number 4 is Cloudspire. This is Chip Theory Games. I'm going to make a few statements about it. I've not played the co-op. I've not played the solo. At its heart, I do believe the game is a 2-player tower defense game. In all seriousness. I know that we've played 3-player before. It was fine. It was a little long at 3 players. I can't even imagine what it's like at 4. If you're looking for a good tower defense game, this is it. There's not much more to say other than highly asymmetrical. This is one of those games where we've played it a few times now, and I still want to play the same faction I've always played because I don't think I've mastered it yet.
I'm going to move on next time because I am having 0 luck with the insects.
Yeah.
0. It's really bad. The first time we played, I won, and we weren't playing half of the rules, I think, or looking.
There was something we were missing.
Yeah.
Because the bugs work so differently.
Yeah. Cloudspire, like, I think all of their games, Too Many Bones 2, Burn Cycle's out on Kickstarter right now. I think they require multiple plays. And again, like Matt said, multiple plays of the same faction because the factions are all so complex and there's so many rules and so many terms. And oftentimes it's not because we share the same terms. They're just different. Component quality is always through the roof. The chips, of course, well, I would hope the chips would be fantastic, but the mats that fit together are great. The card quality is always really good. Yes, I agree with Matt. I think it's a 2-player tower defense game. If you've played it as a cooperative game and really enjoyed it, I'd love to hear why you liked it in the comments below.
So we haven't tried it yet.
We haven't. If you've played it at more than 2 and liked it, and it took less than 2 hours, I'd like to hear that too. Because of 4 players, I feel like it would take forever.
Yeah.
But yes, great game. It's a huge hog on the shelf here. Matt took the towers and out of the box and threw them in something else.
They're in a separate little basket up there, but I know where they are, so I don't ever go looking going, where the heck are they?
Yes.
No, they're up there. You're number 3.
Number 3 is Court of the Dead at 8.625. So last time we talked about Blood Rage and how we thought it had fallen a bit for us. And I think part of it is because of Court of the Dead. Also another shelf hog. It's on our Kickstarter bloat shelf over in the corner over there.
I still love that we have a shelf called the Kickstarter bloat.
People, please, why? Especially since most people tend to have calyxes.
Right.
And those bad boys don't fit. Anywho, that's a rant for another day. So Court of the Dead, love the theme on this. I think it kind of comes out in...
It does. Mainly because of the cards you're drafting. The theme is is there a war between heaven and hell, or you're just kind of in that spot between heaven and hell, and there's celestial conflicts going on, and you're kind of trying to do influential things in that place between the two. In that spirit realm between the two, because I can just hear the comments now, Matt, the place between the two is Earth. No, it's the spiritual realm between the two.
I love the card play in this.
Yep.
I love the building up of your stats along the way. The objectives are great. The area control part, I don't love as much.
Unlike Blood Rage, though, your locations do things. So if you're in control of the location at the end of the round, you get a special bonus effect.
Yes.
It's not just putting your people down, maybe doing a raid.
Right.
It's you're getting things. There's purpose for you putting them down.
Agreed. Yes, I do like that.
Instead of just points, you're trying to fulfill other things.
Yeah. I love the artwork, the board. The minis are pretty good quality too. Was it Project Raygun's first Kickstarter board game?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But great game. We have not played the card game. That is also called Court of the Dead. Boy.
That's a
too late at
That's
night.
a 3+ though.
Probably.
So it won't work with us.
So,
Number 2.
number 2.
Number 2 is Caverna. What more can we say? It's Uwe Rosenberg. I think it's one of his better games. We hadn't played it a lot, and then we got the broken token for it, and it was so much easier to set up that we started playing it a lot. We have never played Agricola, but we have played a Feast for Odin. Feast for Odin was fun. It lasted some time in our collection. It has found a better home. Caverna is just so much fun for us.
We've only played it at 2 players.
Only.
To be fair. I can't imagine playing it with the full...
7?
6? Yeah, 7?
7.
Whew, folks. I feel like I can do a lot in this game, that I need to focus on certain things, though, because I want to do all the things, and you cannot.
He wants you to.
He wants me to, and I won't fall for that, Uwe Rosenberg. I won't. I think it's probably my favorite Rosenberg. I've played a variety of other ones. I just like this one best. I love the pieces in it. I love that I can play purple. And it's there's a lot to do, but it all makes sense.
Yes.
And it's clear too. I don't think it's confusing to play this game. I think your strategy, you might be confused with what strategy you want to take, but your choices are not confusing.
Right.
And it's not too many choices like a Feast for Odin.
Oh boy. Granted, a lot of the choices were similar in structure,
Yes.
but there was still a lot.
I was like, yeah, sensory overload for me. So yeah, we love Caverna in this house, and I think it's still in my top 10 or top 20 at this point. If it was not for number one, which to me is almost a perfect game. Although why it has an 8.75, I don't know.
Because you like it more than I do.
Oh, that is true. I do love Concordia. I think it's nearly perfect. Nearly a perfect game.
Box cover's boring.
Oh, yep. That's a problem.
The box is also a weird size.
Why is it that size? It is missing theme. That alone is what would probably make it in my top 3 games of all time, probably. But I love Concordia. I love it at 2 players. We've played it at 4 players. I love the maps. I love the bits. I love the card play. I love all of it. So, if you're talking about games that you like that have very little luck, Concordia is it? Is it? I mean,
the only thing is the way the cards come out, it just might not come out in your favor. I really want that card, and the other players just take it from you.
Right.
And everyone is just so ensconced in their own thing that they're not taking it from you for any other reason than they could use it too.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's impressed with our list.
No.
He looks very not amused. Usually it's about this time of day. This is early though. That we go upstairs and have our cuddle on the living room chair where I have to raise the seat. He's mad. He's mad, folks. But yes, Concordia. We have Concordia Salsa. We do not have Concordia Venus because teams. There's no point for us to have it in our collection, really.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a fabulous game, and that's our C list, folks.
Yep.
Woo!
Join us next time. There aren't as many in D. I think there's 29 in D. It's not on this notepad. It's on a different one.
Okay.
Because there were tons of, I think, 7.75. I think there were 11 of them. And so I had a hard time remembering which one was first when I was putting it all together in a coherent list. So what on our C list did you like most? What do you dislike most? What do you think we're missing? What are we missing? There's always something. And what would you most want to play together? What would you want to... If we saw you in real life, what would you want to play together? Yeah, we'll see you next time. I am Jen, the board game librarian, and I'm joined by Matt, the dice chucker. And we are at the Literary Games. Gamers. It's late. Getting late. I'm getting punchy. See you next time, everybody. Goodbye.